I thought, let's say it this way, in this moment I thought he's going to be bluff catching me if he has an ace, if he has a slow play trips. What's up everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be analyzing the hand that I would consider probably the most important or the biggest hand in my career. Not only given how much money was at stake at this point in time, but also just the hand itself, right? It's a very unusual situation given the circumstances, given the money that is at stake, given the randomness of our opponent's range, and given the board run out, which changed the situation from being a banger for us to, all right, it's getting very, very dicey. I'm talking about the hand that I've played on the 10K main event from this year's Scoop. I mean, it was an insane run. And I'm going to show you the hand. So villain min raises from low jack. As you can see, we were the shortest stacks. And for me, playing a hand against him has the highest EV because he is, for me, it's the most beneficial to knock him out. I will immediately ladder up. So my risk premium, my ICM is the lowest against him. If let's say a 6 or 7 million stack would open, this would change a lot because he would probably be tighter. He's definitely a situation where he can make some moves. He cannot really wait until someone else busts. So, I mean, he's a very experienced high stakes regular. I don't expect him to be overly scared. Against other players, I would certainly consider folding. However, I was running this spot with Monka Solver and also considering the ICM implications. And we need to make some, we have to make some adjustments, or not some adjustments. We have to consider a few things here. So, first of all, what does he min raise pre? I think Ace King might be jamming pre. I think Ace Queen is going to be jamming pre. He might have something like King Queen off, which is probably close to break even. Maybe something like Queen Jack suited. He's still supposed to be shoving very tight since he's jamming into so many stacks, and it's still 10 big blinds. 10 big blinds from cutoff button you can jam relatively loose, but from the low jack it's getting very dicey. So you don't want to be shoving a lot of hands here. I would probably be shoving something like eights, ace 10 suited, ace jack off, King Queen suited, King Jack suited. Those hands are certainly good enough. And then I would already start min raise folding some hands. I think you generate also a lot of fold equity with min raise. I mean, you can see how people respond. Oh, Ben, you should fold King 7 suited. It's always ace or king. So then you should also do the same with your trash. And I think, I mean, not trash, but with the bottom of your shoving range. But I think it's going to being perceived as very strong. So assuming he's going to be raising a range like this, what can we defend against that? And since his range is so tight to begin with, making a few adjustments, it's gonna have a huge impact on our defending range. Because if we're gonna start adding some more King Jacks or King Queens, then it's gonna change our calling range. We can see all the hands we want to defend if we assume he's going to be raising ace 10 off, ace 9 suited, aces and kings. I don't really know what hands he is adding to his min raising range as a bluff. But as we see, the suited connectors perform quite well. Every hand that, so ace jack suited is 100% defend. 6-5 suited is 100% defend. And then everything else that is shown as a frequency, so king queen off wants to defend 30% of the time. Probably the rest of it wants to reshove or fold. I'm not even sure if it's a reshove. But you can see how close it is. King 6 suited is better than king 7, king 8 suited. I assume that Now, if we go closer to the lower suited kings, it's better, because if we assume our villain is going to have a 9 or 10 as a bluff, it's going to be blocking some of our outs, right? Like if we have king 8, king 7 suited, there's a bit of EV to flop some 1-card straights. But if our villain is blocking some of our 9 or 10x outs that we need, so having a 6 is better, because it's not really relevant what kicker we have in terms of hitting a pair against his pocket pairs, because he's not going to be opening anything between, let's say, pocket 9s and pocket 6, because he's shoving them. So it's very much irrelevant. So then it's more important to flop a straight. King 5, king 4, king 3 suited. Why aren't we defending that? Might have to do with card remove effects. I'm not 100% sure, but since there are already a couple of players folded, it might increase the chances that they had trash, right? A 4, 5, or 3 or deuce in their hand. So then also reduces the chances of flopping trips. But the differences in EV between king 5 and king 6 suited is probably going to be super, super tiny. And then those card remove effects might play the deciding factor whether we want to call our hand or whether we want to fold it. So as we see, actually, king 6 suited would be a little better, but I do assume that but I think the suited kings are pretty much all going to be around break even. So I agree if someone says we should fold, wait for a better spot. But again, we only invest 2 big blinds here in a break even spot. That's never going to be big mistakes. So however, like defending queen 10 off or king 9 off would be a bad mistake. Defending off-suited aces would be a big mistake. I think trying to stay away from these is already gonna help you a lot, especially if you have a lot of if you have a lot of final tables and you have mid stakes open raising and you're the short stake. I think you should be very, very tight, because our risk premium, our ICM is going to be bigger against mid stacks, since we have nothing to gain against them. Here we have something to gain. If we have a setup, we can bust him, and this would have an immediate effect on or a higher impact on the value of our stack, because we're going to be laddering, right? So of course it was close in game. I decided to call and we flopped the word. Now a couple of people asked me, why don't we check jam? I mean, we nail the board just because we're afraid of runner. I think it's less than 1%. If you nail the board that much, I mean, I'm pretty sure if we bet and we jam, he's going to be folding his aces. This would be very huge punt, and I consider him as a good regular. We haven't played a lot against each other, so I can't really judge his play, but I've also never really seen any bad plays from him. So I would assume that he's going to be, like, aces would probably be really bad. Like, this board is pretty good for us because we're going to have more flushes. So monotone boards are always quite good for the big blind. And I would expect he should either be min betting or checking back and just seeing a safe turn, a safe river. Because even with a small bet, he's not accomplishing a lot. Like, we fold out 10-7 in hearts, right? Which has very little equity, but we're going to be calling a lot of diamonds, and you don't really want to build a pot against those hands. And you can also check back your aces with 1 diamond. You don't mind giving a freed card. You don't mind checking back a hand like ace king with 1 diamond. If we bet and he jams, you can't really bet call ace king with a diamond, because very often you get it in against 2 pair, made flushes, some sets, and maybe something like king queen with king and diamonds. But even against that, you're not in the best shape. That's basically the best outcome, but yeah, we're still gonna have a decent amount of flushes. So let's speed it up a bit. So you can see I insta call, insta check. I mean, I don't think I wanna be raising a lot, and I also have some snap calls, so I sometimes would take my time. I think the queen we should be leading a lot, because we're gonna have more queen X, right? We have queen 10, we have queen jack, and now it's stack the pot ratio. If we have trips, we aren't going anywhere. He checks back, and so here it becomes it becomes very crucial. What is he doing with his king queens? What is he doing with, let's say, if he opens queen jack suited? Yeah, I'm not sure if he's jamming those, or probably he's jamming those. It's hard to say. River, he checks back the turn, and river is very interesting. I think the way to play it is to block bet fold the river. So I would bet $1 million and then fold to a jam, but this is going to be very hard. Also, I remember here, if you watched the footage from the beginning of the tournament up until this point, I really felt I'm getting exploited. I had so many raise folds. I think I raised ace-8 suited. Oxota had queens against me. I had ace-king on an ace-high board, had to check fold against him, where he had 2 pair. I had another spot where I had ace-jack. I'm Luxbox, had kings against me. And I was just, every hand I played, I made top pair with king-queen or king-jack. Oxota had ace-king, we had top pair. I was just losing chips, and I was like, am I getting exploited here? And then you have this hand. I'm pretty sure under normal circumstances, I would have seen the block bet, but I thought, you know, he has his ace jacks, he has his ace tens with 1 diamond, that he's not jamming pre, which I think he can have. He can have something like ace 9 suited, which he could play the exact same way, which would be reasonable bluff catcher. We can represent something like jack 10, king jack, king 10 with 1 diamond, and we would probably bluffing all of those. So I thought, let's say it this way, in this moment, I thought he's going to be bluff catching me if he has an ace, if he has a slow play trips. I mean, it's literally just one combo, right? It's show only, oh, sorry. Yeah, it's queens is one combo. I don't think he has nines. He could have a slow play ace 10 and diamonds, but I think ace 10 and the suited ace 10 would jam pre. So it's like, if we consider aces, if we consider queens, maybe occasional slow play, ace 10, whatever, suited, or he opens an ace 5 in diamonds. But if he has ace 5 in diamonds, then we also need to look at the other side of the coin. Then he's also going to have ace jack and ace 10 to a certain frequency. He might have some queen jack, queen 10s, and or king queens that want to see a safe river and then value bet his trips. ICM definitely changes the game. So that's why I opted to jam. But I definitely see point. I think a higher AV, because it's really hard for him to bluff, to bet like 800,000, 1 million, then fold to a jam. I mean, sometimes we get into those marginal spots and you thought yourself, why didn't you fold pre? Why didn't you jam the flop? Why didn't you block bet the river? And then everything is against you. I felt like this day it was not meant to be. I see it as a lesson. I hope also the preflop ranges helps you to understand what kind of hands we want to be defending in this spot. So next time, if you have a final table, you're second, third, last in chips, you face a min raise from someone who's MP hijack. You know what to defend roughly, unless he's super loose, super aggressive. Of course, then you need to extend your calling range. Yeah, I decided to jam. You see the outcome. It's of course very unfortunate something like this happens on such a big table, but it will make me tougher. Like every other suck out I will face now. I remember I had this situation on the 10K scoop main event final table, such a run out. So why should I bother about the random suck out, let's say on the bubble of a $100 tournament, right? So always when you have those situations, don't think, oh, why does this happen to me? Well, if you think it like this, then you won't really learn anything from it. You need to reframe it. It's going to make you a tough motherfucker, and next time you laugh the suckouts off. And I felt like the sessions afterwards were much easier for me, because I'm not saying this is the toughest situation you can ever have, and no, but for me it was quite a tough situation when I saw the outcome, and definitely helped me to face and to counter bad beats better. So that's how I approach the hand. I think calling pre is fine. Check call is standard. Leading turn is an option as well. And then river, I think checking. I don't see anything. I mean, if we check, he's probably going to be value betting a queen. Yeah. yeah, I think block bet small, fold to a jam is the play. Thank you guys. Let me know what you think. How would you play this spot? Drop a comment, and if you do enjoy the content, follow us, subscribe. Helps growing the channel. Would appreciate that, and more people are gonna be consuming our content. I know you don't want any other people to consume our content because the content is so good, right? No, just kidding. But for real, I do enjoy all the support that you guys are providing and the positivity. I think it's an amazing community. Thank you guys for helping us, and this helps us to produce all the content and help you in your journey. And then see you guys next time.